There are many people who have come here to attend this forum. We have with us stakeholders for the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games Organizing Committee, as well as youth supporters of the Games. This forum is being broadcast live on YouTube. So for those of you who were unable to come to Alpensia here in PyeongChang, please watch us online and continue to send us your encouragements. We will now begin the forum in earnest. As you know, please remember to switch your phones to vibrate or silent mode. Now we would like to begin the PyeongChang Peace Forum 2022 Sports Session 2, a new challenge, Fear Not. We'd like to begin by inviting Secretary General Kim Chulmin of the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games Organizing Committee to come forward to tell us a little bit about the Games. Please give him a big round of applause.
안녕하십니까.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Secretary General of the Gangwon 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games Organizing Committee. We at the PyeongChang Peace Forum is in pursuit of peace and reconciliation, and this session is being hosted by PyeongChang 2018 Legacy Foundation, so I would like to extend my gratitude to Chairman Yoo Seung-min as well as all of the staff of the foundation. The organization committee has been up and running since September 2021, and it's been more than a year and about 5 months. And along with IOC, Gangwon Province, and the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, and other partner institutions, we've been putting in our best effort for a successful 2024 Youth Olympics. The Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics is about having the youth lead the process and to have them experience various domains, including sports, social issues, as well as culture. And I think that it will offer them with a lot of opportunity to grow further. And I believe that this experience of the youth will probably be the most significant legacy of the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics. In addition, Gangwon Province will be hosting the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics, and with its experience of the PyeongChang Winter Olympics in 2018, I think that this will be an excellent opportunity to raise the prominence of PyeongChang or of Gangwon Province as the place for Asian winter sports, and considering that it's a divided province, it also provides us with that message around the world on peace and reconciliation. Through this PyeongChang Peace Forum 2022, we would like to deliver the vision, the roadmap of the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics. We want to give you an update from the previous forum, so it's a great pleasure to give you that update to you. As you know, a couple of days ago, Kim Yeon-nam was designated as the ambassador for the Youth Olympics, so she has accepted this invitation. And I would like to ask for your support and your interest. So all of our youth, I would like to ask for your support. And with that, let me conclude my opening remarks. And let me now move on to the presentation. I would like to talk about the Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics and the various plans that we have for the successful Olympics in 2024. As I have already mentioned, Kim Yeon-nam, world-renowned figure skater, has been designated as the ambassador for the Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics. You can see that her pure existence really brightens up the event. So once again, thank you very much for graciously accepting our invitation. My presentation consists of four parts. I would like to give you an overview and background of the Youth Olympic Games, and then move on to give you some more information on the Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics 2024. Of course, the official name of the Olympics is 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympics. So internally, we typically note of the event as Gangwon 2024, and also when we do communicate with IOC, we keep it simple. So I would like to ask for your understanding when I note the Olympic Games as Gangwon 2024. And I would like to also share with you some of the plans, our road to success, and what kind of things that we would like to change to make it an even better event. So first on the Youth Olympic Games. The youth, through fair sporting events, will be able to grow in both body and mind through these sports activities. And it also enables them to promote the values of the Olympics as the philosophy of life. And some of the key aspects to the Youth Olympic Games has to do with fair competition. It enables them to grow based on fair competition, and it also brings the athletes, the youth, together because there are many side events that also take place regarding education and culture. So in the Medal Plaza, in the Athletes Village, and in the many venues, there are side events, festivals that enable the youth to engage in further collaboration and exchange. Athletes between the age of 15 and 18 are applicable, and we have the local youth and spectators coming together. So it's basically a festival of the international community. In 2010, at Singapore, the Summer Youth Olympics took place. So this was the inaugural event. And just like any other Olympic event, it takes place every 2 years, the summer and winter. So the Summer Olympics in Singapore in 2010, and then the Winter Olympics took place in Innsbruck in 2012. And in Lausanne, it took place in Lausanne in 2020, and the fourth Winter Olympic Games will take place in Gangwon in 2024. The Youth Olympics is about for the youth, with the youth, and by the youth. That is the basic principle that's in place. And it's also about compete, learn, and share experience. So these are the main elements to the Youth Olympic Games. So the athletes will understand the meaning of fair competition, and the local youth can also involve themselves with various learning and sharing programs, and also take part in enjoyable education and cultural programs. So the athletes can become future Olympic role models. They can continue on to develop their future career, and the local youth will be able to take part in many sports activities to grow healthier, and through their participation in various programs will enable them to unleash their capabilities. The emblem, the slogan, the mascot, and the theme song, all of that is actually based on a public competition by the youth. So I would like to ask for your active participation as well. Let me now move on to how we're preparing for the event. As you know, it's 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games. It will take place from January 19th to February 1st of 2024. So it's a total of 14 days. This is confirmed. And in PyeongChang, Gangneung, Jeongseon, and Hwaengsung of Gangwon Province, we will be hosting the event by utilizing the various ice rinks as well as the ski venues. It's a total of 7 sports, 15 disciplines, and 81 events. We have both snow events as well as ice events. So we have skiing, biathlon, bobsleigh, skeleton, luge. And for the ice sports, we have skating, ice hockey, and curling. On the scale of participation, this has been already confirmed. So we will have more than 70 countries take part in the games. And just athletes alone would be 1,900. And if we also add the other administrative staff and executives, it would be another 1,000. So it would be a total of 2,900. And in addition to NOC, IOC, other federations of sports, members of the press. So if we combine all of these numbers, it would be more than 6,000 people that would be joining the games. Let me now move on to some of the key venues. So this has been discussed with IOC and relevant partner institutions, and we do have a master plan in place. So for the snow events, we have Alpenzia and the Olympic Sliding Center, where the bobsleigh will take place, the skeleton as well as luge. And then the Alpensia Ski Jumping Center, the Alpensia Biathlon Center, and the Cross Country Center. And at the Hwangsung, Welly the freestyle snowboard and alpine and mogul will take place here at Cheongsan High-One Resort. And in deciding these venues, the basic principle was to utilize the legacy of the 2018 PyeongChang Winter Olympics as much as possible. So we wanted to reduce the construction costs for stadiums and to maximize on the use of the PyeongChang legacy. And then next, moving on to the ice rinks and the athletes' village at the Gangneung Ice Arena figure short track and the skating games in the Gangneung speed skating rink and the curling center and the hockey center of Gangneung is the legacy of PyeongChang, and we will be using that very same rinks and stadiums. And if you look at most of the ice rinks, the ice venues, and the sliding centers and the ski venues, you will notice that the Gangneung Development Institute and Gangneung City has been managing these facilities and infrastructure. So this enables us to minimize any costs that would be going into building new stadiums or new ice rinks. And if you look at the Athletes Village at Gangneung Wonju University, we will be hosting the Athletes Village, and the Mountain Condominium of Cheongsan High-One, we will have the second Athletes Village there. So the vision of Gangwon 2024 is about sports for fun and growth, and it's about a peaceful future open through coexistence and harmony. So through sports, we want to enable the athletes and youth to disseminate the value of the Olympics, also experience future-oriented change, provide special opportunities for growth. So basically, it's about to induce change in the youth, in the sports, focus on development of the region as well as the country, promote peace, and find a way to participate all together. So it's about the spirit of participation. Next is on the phased implementation plan that we have. So phase 1. At the end of last year was actually the target date for phase 1, but because of some conflicting schedules with the Beijing Winter Olympics, we are a bit behind schedule by about 2 months or so. So the edition plan or the basic plan is to be concluded or completed within March, and then already the master plan for the venues have been confirmed, as well as the sports events and disciplines. So once we have the edition plan by March, we will be able to move on to phase 2. And if you look at phase 2, it's about preparing for the event in earnest. So it has to do with marketing, financing, transport, accommodation. So it's about putting together a key implementation plan or an action plan for all of these individual key sectors. And what's important here is, in line with youth participation strategy, there will also be some other programs that would involve the youth. And from January 2023, we'll be engaging in simulations, test events, and by venue, we will be testing out these venues. And on January 19, 2024, the opening ceremony will take place, and it will last for 14 years to close on February 1st with the closing ceremony. So I think we have about a year and 10 months. So you don't have a lot of time under our belt. And even after the event, we will go into the process of dismantling anything that has to be done after the event. So it's important to strengthen the youth's participation throughout the process. So from preparation and throughout the event, we really want to have the youth at the center, the major protagonists. And it's also about making sure that it is an event of interest for the youth. It provides them with opportunity for education and growth. And we are going to maximize their participation throughout the event as well as during the preparation phase, which we call with youth. And we would like to empower the youth to make key decisions. So that would be by youth. And we will have participating athletes, the youth, from elementary school students to college students that will be involved. And some of the key areas that the youth can take part would be the theme song, the mascot, so they can actually take part in these events to submit their proposals. And it's not just as fans or spectators, but as opinion leaders, as volunteers, and also as those involved in the running of the event. They can actually directly take part in all of these examples. And another key aspect or the road to success has to do with strengthening cooperation with relevant partner institutions, stakeholders, and the regional community. The Gangwon province, cities, central government, as well as the Korea Sports Association. It's important to make sure that we have collaboration with all of these stakeholders. And on a regular basis, we also host association meetings of relevant institutions. And cooperation with IOC, the Olympic movement, with the local residents and schools would also be important. In the typical Winter Olympic Games, there is the bid file where from the point of taking part in the bid, the sports, the disciplines, the master plan would already be set forth in the beginning when participating in the bid. However, for the Youth Olympics, the location, the venue, the sports or the disciplines, and the size of the delegation is actually decided and co-created with IOC and major stakeholders. So it's devised together with the partners and to be finalized afterwards. And in terms of inter-Korean exchanges, that was key for the PyeongChang Winter Olympics. We also want to make sure that that theme is still alive during the Youth Olympics. So through the agreement of the two Koreas, if we can go for a joint hosting of the Olympics, we along with IOC will be making the necessary preparations. And then this Olympics as a festival of culture and education. As mentioned, this is not just a sports event in the Medal Plaza. There are many programs where the medals will be conferred, and in the Athletes Village, there will be multiple festival programs for the youth and participants. So we really want to make the Olympic Games as a festival of culture and education, as mentioned. So we really want the youth to have fun, to be exposed to diverse cultures, and to find the opportunity to portray and express themselves. And we also have our traditional culture. So we also want to display our traditional culture, our DNA, and our IT technology. I think that this will serve as an opportunity for us to showcase our technological prowess. So at Gangwon-do, and stakeholders are also looking into the option of metaverse to have interesting and interactive programs for our spectators. So we're getting the budget for that as well. And K-culture and K-wave, the cultural influence that Korea has is something to note. So we are going to also run various cultural programs that would help us showcase the excellence of Korean culture. And this would not just be on the culture of Gangwon province, but there will be programs that can also portray the excellence of Korean culture as a whole. And there will also be many educational programs where the youth can experience sports events and also experience the Olympic value. So before, during, and during the event, we're going to have experiential programs for the youth to try out the winter sports and encourage their interest and participation. And we also want to provide various programs where they can experience the Olympic spirit of friendship, fair play, fairness, equality, and peace. And last but not least, I would like to talk about what kind of changes or transformation may be possible with Gangwon 2024 and what kind of legacy may remain with the Youth Olympics. So 2018 PyeongChang Winter Olympics, I think that it's very important to build upon the PyeongChang legacy because it's the same winter sport and we'll be utilizing most of the same venues from PyeongChang. So we want this to be a continuation of the PyeongChang 2018 legacy. And of course, sustainability, making sure it's environment friendly, and also to make it economically feasible. So these will be aspects that we will be taking into account. The facilities and also in terms of the cost, we want to make it as efficient as possible to run the event at low cost. So I think that this is a key indicator that we have to hit. And it's also important to maximize the capabilities that we have accumulated from running the PyeongChang 2018 Games. So we also have those that already have experience during the PyeongChang Winter Games. So the legacy and the know-how, we want to make full use of that during the 2024 Youth Olympics. And the peace agenda is probably the greatest legacy of PyeongChang 2018. So we want to also sustain that as well. And we need to build upon the legacy. So how can that be possible? We're collaborating with PyeongChang 2018 Legacy Foundation, but then it's true that Gangwon 2024 also has its own distinct legacy, will have its distinct legacy. So we'll be talking about how we can build upon the existing legacy of PyeongChang. We really want to nurture a healthy and proactive future generation through the Olympics. And it's important to make sure that the youth recognizes that they will be all future global leaders. So what we want to do is cultivate global leaders who interact with the world through the Olympics. And we really wish that the youth become messengers of peace. So we will be supporting that endeavor. And with the participation of Gangwon 2024, we really want to have them lead healthier lives, to work out more by participating in more increasing physical activities. And it's also important to make sure that they have that sense of ownership of their life, to understand that they are the owners of the future. So during the event, we will be hosting youth committees, planning groups, youth supporter groups. We will be also hosting youth forums so that they can experience instances of actually making decisions. And we'll also be engaging in a lot of debate and discussions, forming a consensus so that that enables them to grow as healthy and knowledgeable adults. And last but not least, even after the Olympics event, we want to continue on with the youth exchange. So post-games youth exchange is also a key initiative of Gangwon 2024. In Korea, domestically, we already had many youth winter sports activities. So we want to continue on with these sports events, these visit to schools type of programs, and we also have the DREAM program run by the Legacy Foundation, and we want to continue on with these activities for youth exchange going forward. And PyeongChang Peace Forum is being held every year. So I think that it can be an independent event or maybe another simultaneous event where we can host a program titled PyeongChang Peace Camp. And here, the youth will be taking the lead and running the forum. So we would like to make this into the legacy of Gangwon 2024. Last but not least, we also need to expand cooperation with other Olympic cities. You can see that the Winter Olympic Games, it's only meeting its 4th event at Gangwon. We had the 3rd event in Lausanne and the 5th event. The host city for the 5th event will be decided during the Gangwon Games. So what we want to do is build bridge programs amongst the Olympic cities. And of course, through these bridge programs that would be combining the recent 3 cities, we will be able to involve ourselves during the next event and the next event. So we think that this is something that can be quite exciting and productive to make sure that we have further cooperation amongst the Olympic cities. And you can see that Korea, Japan, and China all had experience of hosting the Winter Olympic Games. Now, also with the Beijing Olympics, China is also on board here. But in terms of the Youth Olympics, we were probably the first amongst the Northeast Asian countries. And I think that the 3 countries, because we all did have experience in the Winter Olympics, I think what we can do is maybe it may not be a full-fledged type of Winter Olympic Games amongst the Northeast Asian countries, but maybe we can host some smaller events based on a specific discipline or a specific sport amongst these three countries to continue on with the youth exchange amongst the Asian population.
조금
So I think I took about 20 minutes for my presentation, and with that, let me conclude my update on Gangwon 2024 on the road to success. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. That was a very easy to understand explanation about the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games. Please give another big round of applause to Secretary General Kim Chulmin of the organizing committee. Now we'd like to introduce someone who is extremely important to the success of the Games, one of the youth supporters. We would like to invite Park Seojun, who would like to tell us a little bit about the activities that are ongoing with the youth supporters. And he has traveled all the way from Daegu to be with us today. We'd also like to thank his parents for traveling a long way to be with us. Seojun is currently a student. He's a junior at the Daegu International School, and now we'd like to hear from him. Please give him a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. I am part of the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games youth supporters. My name is Seojun Park. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about the youth supporters and about the activities that we are conducting. In our roles and activities, I would like to go in that order and beginning with the introduction. The supporters are comprised of youth from the ages of 13 to 24. They will work for the success of the 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games. We'll look at identifying and producing different kinds of promotional content and share this to promote the games to everyone. We had the launching ceremony in April, in fact, August 24th, 2021. And we will work for about 10 months as youth supporters. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Class 1 of youth supporters. As you can see in these images on the bottom of the slide, you would see that in June of 2021, we sent in our participation and cheerleading, different activities. We produced different videos, as you can see, promotional activities.
Join us in Gangwon.
Together at Gangwon 2024.
같이 뛸래? 준비됐어?
준비하고 있지?
I hope you enjoyed the video. Of our youth supporters, you see bobsleigh, skeleton, curling athletes are part of the supporters team, so they in fact participated in the video, and the other students helped out in helping us produce the video clips. And in July of 2021, the youth supporters came up with a name that will represent all of us. There were about 10 candidates, but we voted on this and we decided upon the slogan of "We All Youth." This was a confirmed slogan. However, ultimately we had to change it because we were able to realize that this "We All Youth" slogan is being used by another international organization. From August to September 2021, we engaged not just in promotional activities for the Games, but also initiated an environmental protection campaign called a plogging campaign. And in November of 2021, we had a launching ceremony for the youth ambassadors and youth supporters. We participated in this Gangwon provincial government's launching of the youth ambassadors. We told them about the role of the youth supporters. And in our interim presentation, we talked about the activities that we conducted from April to September and told them about our plans going forward. We also planned different kinds of social media channel content.
2022년 1월에는
In 2022 January,
2024 강원
we
동계 청소년 올림픽 대회라는
had a 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games by the youth supporters. We had our own team mission activities, so we produced different card news, or we also played different promotional videos. On the right-hand side, you can see these promotional videos that I made with clay.
(2024년)
2024년에는
강원 동계 청소년 올림픽 대회가 열립니다.
2022년 2월에는
In February of 2022,
대회 G700일을 기념하여
we commemorated Day G700 for the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games, and so we produced a promotional video. Because we were on vacation, we worked very hard
6시 50분
every day.
에서 방영 예정인
Tomorrow, there is going to be a feature special on SBS TV, the Olympic special at 6:50. There's going to be Street Woman Fighter
서포터즈
program, and we're going to participate in this program to tell more people about the activities of the youth supporters. So I'd like to ask you to please tune in and watch the program.
청소년 서포터즈 활동을 하면서 가장
In our activities of the supporters, this has to be one of the most memorable occasion where we had an interview of Kim Yeona of Yoona Kim, who was an ambassador for our Winter Youth Olympic Games. These are some of the pictures that we took from that moment.
다음 대회는
강원 2024입니다.
다음 대회는 강원 2024입니다.
구독과 좋아요 아시죠?
유튜브에서 엄청난 조회수를 자랑하는
This ran up a lot of hits and views on YouTube. That's our Gangwon 2024 promotional video. And as has been mentioned by the different ambassadors, of our ambassador, she has asked you to like and subscribe our video, and would like to ask you to please do so. This has been my presentation on the youth supporters presentation on Gangwon 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games. We were able to do most of these activities online because of COVID-19, but it was a very new experience for me.
서포터즈 2기에 더 많은
The second class of the youth supporters will begin in March, and I'd like to ask you for your continued interest and attention. Please give another big round of applause to Seojun for his presentation. That was really amazing. I could see the amount of work and effort that had to go into by the youth supporters. I'm sure his parents are very proud. The youth supporters are really working very hard to promote the games to the world, and I do hope that you would all listen to what he said. Do like and subscribe the YouTube video.
원조 날씨 요정하면 딱 떠.
Next, I would like to move on to a very well-known and successful TV meteorologist. She's now a TV personality and actress. Unfortunately, she could not join us here in PyeongChang, but she has a very important message that she wants to deliver to our audience here as well as the youth. So let us now invite actress AHN Hye-kyung. Please welcome her with a big hand.
자, 안혜경 씨 연결이 지금 돼 있나요? 안녕하세요.
Hello. Yes, hello. I am An Hye-kyung. Yes, once again, a big round of applause, please. Hello, everyone. I am An Hye-kyung, actress. And thank you very much for the invitation to PyeongChang Peace Forum 2022. Park Seojun has given us a very good presentation on the youth supporters, and it was very interesting, and I truly hope for and wish for the success of Gangwon 2024. Due to COVID-19, many events are cancelled, so I really do not have a lot of opportunity to meet with you in person, but at least we have this online channel to take part in this event, so it's a great honor. Today, I thought about this topic, and I did give some good thought to what kind of message I can deliver. So it was very difficult to really pinpoint where I should start from. But I do want to say that do not be afraid of a new challenge. In many cases, if you do want to do something different, if you want to challenge, it's true that because you already know and experience the fruit of success, you want to experience that once again. So it enables you and it makes you really go for that new challenge. So many people would think that you can only challenge something when you do already have a track record of success. But I want to say that, no, you don't need that track record. Anybody can actually take up a new challenge. So today I would like to take the opportunity. It's not a very long time that was allotted to me, but I do want to talk about the importance of passionately taking up a challenge. I mentioned that in my introduction, I called myself an actress. But I think that there are those that are not aware. But in 2001, I started off as a meteorologist at the MBC broadcasting station. So it's about 20 years ago. And the department at the broadcasting station is very well known for being very conservative, because it's basically the news division. And you know, accuracy is important. You really have to swiftly report the news, the facts. So it's true that many people in that division, in that department, is very conservative. So it's about being not subjective but more objective, and it's not about personality. But I think that I was a bit different. I had a different DNA, and compared to other reporters or meteorologists, I think that I was a little bit different. So I wanted to make it accurate. Of course, I wanted to make it interesting. But in addition to that, I really wanted to be more familiar with the audience. So I tried to find ways to get closer to the audience or the viewers. For instance, of course, right now I'm wearing a suit, but in the past, I did try to wear something more casual rather than a very formal suit. And if you look at in terms of how I deliver the news, I wanted to make it easier to listen to. I didn't want to make it too rigid. And it wasn't just about facts and just only facts. I wanted to exude that image where just by looking at me and my overall appearance and image, they would be able to know what the weather forecast would look like. So for instance, if we do have a rain forecast, what I did was I was wearing a raincoat, or I was holding an umbrella, or if it's supposed to be windy, I would be wearing a scarf, or during the winter season, I would be wearing hats, gloves, mufflers, scarves. So I really wanted to be an active communicator for the viewers. So initially, some people criticized me because they thought that I really stood out excessively. And it's true that I was warned to stop doing what I was doing, but I think that the viewers had a different assessment, a different evaluation of my performance, because they thought that it was quite novice, they thought it was creative, and that enabled me to go outdoors, not in the studio, but really deliver the weather forecast in a different environment, in a more dynamic environment. And I'm sure that there are those that remember the times where what happened was I went around the nation and delivered this weather forecast live. And I remember I was traveling nationwide, and I also actually had a live broadcast at Dokdo Island. And I thought maybe it will lead me to go to even North Korea someday. But that was an idea that was in my mind, but I couldn't make it to North Korea, which was quite unfortunate. But at any rate, I basically thought that I was living my prime years as a meteorologist 6 years back. So I thought that I wanted now a new title. That was during my prime years. I just didn't want to be noted as a meteorologist, but I wanted to pursue a different dream. So what I did was I left the broadcasting station, the company. And many people say that when you are at your prime, you can try for a new challenge. So that's what I did, basically. And afterwards, I was a MC in various events or programs, entertainment programs, and of course, I had many programs that I was involved, but there was something that I disregarded. I actually believed that everything may guarantee a success, but what happened was I left NBC. It was a full-time job, but when I started to freelance, everything was a zero. All started off from square one. It was zero base. So in other words, what would happen if I don't take up a challenge, if I don't put in the efforts, I would go nowhere. I found out that there will be no goals to pursue if I do nothing. It was quite different from a full-time job. So everything was quite new for me. And naturally, I saw the programs, the number of programs that I took part go down. And the moment that I found out that I wasn't successful as a freelancer, it was quite depressing and it was quite difficult for me for a couple of years. So I thought, what could I do better? Is there anything that I could do well? And why am I here as a TV personality? These TV shows, how long will I be able to continue on with my career? And if I just sat there and just gave up on everything, I think that I wouldn't be here to meet with you to deliver my message. But it actually served as an opportunity for me to take up another challenge, to try new attempts. And I think that has brought me here in front of all of you. And of course, I made many attempts. I took up many challenges. And of course, I wasn't always successful. There were certain programs or shows where due to sluggish ratings, it just it disappeared. And the management company that I was a part of went bankrupt. There were all sorts of things that happened. And as you know, what's the most difficult part as a celebrity is when you're forgotten, when the name An Hyekyeong is forgotten in the minds of the viewers, the people, that's really scary. And I think that, I thought, I've bottomed out and I can just start again. I can start anew. So that really helped me get back on my 2 feet. And what I did was to go back on the passion to act. I did start out as a freelancer and as an actress, but I really didn't have much knowledge in acting. Of course, I did not major that at school, so I really had to start from the basics. It was about joining a theater club, and it was about taking acting lessons or drama lessons. So I thought that it was important to make sure that I can build upon what I learned. It wasn't just about ambition or passion. And even right now, I take part in auditions. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes not. So still, as an actress, I'm still going through this process of trying to build myself and grow myself into an actress. And I think that the best capability that I have is probably my speaking skills, maybe being a good MC, a good moderator. I think this is something that I do well. This is a competency that I have, but the fact that I want to go into drama and acting, it's something that I want to do well. Not something that I do well, but something that I want to do well. So that's why I'm continuing on to take up this challenge. And I dream of becoming an excellent actress. And of course, it's great if you can only pursue this sole career. But as you know, that wasn't possible for me. And whether I liked it or not, it was true that I experienced various different situations and programs, even within the entertainment business. And was faced with a number of challenges and incidents. And as you know, there was also a TV show the Burning Youth, where this enabled me to raise or my prominence. And I've also tried to I tried to take part in these shows as a familiar face for viewers. And there are also these TV programs I was a part of that consisted of a number of women celebrities together. So I tried to contribute. And in these TV shows and entertainment programs, I was able to understand some other strengths that I had, and it was rewarding for me. And one thing that I want to mention is there was the soccer TV program, and I was the goalkeeper in that program. And you may think that this is a very lonely job or a lonely position, but I think that it's basically the front runner in defense. Of course, you cannot win every game, and it would be great if you can, but of course you lose. And if you think about losing the game, it depresses you, but you cannot win every game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And only when you lose, I think, comes with future success. So through this entertainment reality programs, this soccer program with other celebrities, I was able to once again define what challenge and success was all about. And this has actually led for me to understand what would be the rewarding experience for me. So this was also a very good opportunity for me to define the yardstick of success. So anything that you would be starting anew, or it would be a first for you, I think this experience eventually becomes a great asset for you. So the acting, the drama, all of the TV shows that I'm involved in, of course, have both success and failure. But regardless of the result, this all will be an important asset for me in my future life. So for some, may think that it's a luxury to fail. But I think that it's about making new attempts, taking up the challenge, and all of this, the failure, the experience of failure will, of course, provide you with the power to be successful. So I also will continue on to challenge myself, even amidst the failures, and I would like to ask you to do the same. So you need both. You need both failures as well as successful experiences. So today we have excellent weather today. It's very mild, and some ask me, what kind of weather do you like the most? And well, the weather, it wasn't, well, for me, I thought that only, bright, mild, shiny, sunshine, it would be the best. But sometimes we would have snow, sometimes we would have rain, but it really depends on what you experience on that day, the memory. So for me, I joined MBC, and the first day, it was very rainy. So, rain for me is not a negative. So I hope that you all do have these interesting and memorable events, whichever that may be, because that all depends on your experience and your circumstances. And I really want to say that failure is not something bad. And anybody has the opportunity to be successful, and everybody has the freedom to fail. So do not be afraid of failing. I truly hope that you enjoy PyeongChang Peace Forum 2022, the remaining event, and I wish for the success of Gangwon 2004. And with that, let me conclude my remarks. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Have we lost her, or is she still there?
Well, for our youth here today, taking up the new challenge, we do have our youth supporters, and we also have those that are preparing for the Gangwon Youth Olympics. So would you like to maybe deliver your message of support, any encouragement for those gathered here today? So all of our youth, our members, I know that it may be challenging, it may be a bit difficult in preparing for the event, and it's probably a first for you, and I'm sure that there may be a lot of complexities in the process, but you have many people that would be helping you out. And if we really join hands, if we work as a team, I do know that it's going to be a successful event. So dream big, and I really hope that you continue on to take up the challenge. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. And why don't we give a great hand of support for her passion. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us.
정말 이 새로운 도전은 저도 뭐
I think that taking on these new challenges is very meaningful, and I myself is always taking on new challenges. I think it's a very great word that to take on new challenges
되셨으면 좋겠습니다.
on, and I think that this would be a very encouraging set of remarks for our youth athletes. Next, we'd like to hear from the IOC Head of Communications for Asia, Nacy Park, and we are going to have a short interview between Nacy Park and a member of the youth supporters. We'd like to
자 그리고 우리 다시 한번
greet her by video. And yes, so we'd like to have our youth supporter up to the stage. Please give them both a big round of applause. So please welcome Seojun again to the stage. And we are seeing Miss Nacy Park now. Please give Miss Nacy Park a big round of applause as well.
자 혹시 우리 박서준
Yes, so I'm going to ask Seojun, are you going to be asking the questions in English? So yes, for that, I'd like to ask you to please set your receivers to channel 1 for Korean and channel 2 for English. I should probably pick up a receiver myself. And
인사 말씀 우리 좀 먼저 부탁을 좀
I would like to ask Ms. Nacy Park for her self-introduction first.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. It's really exciting to speak on behalf of the International Olympic Committee and speak towards the excitement that is coming for Gangwon 2024. It's really a great opportunity for me to be here among the next generation to just come off the back of the Olympic Winter Games Beijing 2022, the successful games that we've just had there, and looking forward to the next event on our Olympic calendar, which is Gangwon 2024. So thank you for the opportunity to speak here today, and I look forward to working with the youth of Korea to promote Gangwon 2024.
네, 통역기를 제가 안 끼고 있어서 네, 마무리
So unfortunately, I don't have my receiver on, so I'm going to assume that the remarks have ended and hand over the microphone to Seojun, and he is going to engage in a conversation with Nacy.
Hello, how are you?
It's good. Thanks.
Yes.
This is this is Seojun Park, youth supporter of 2024 Winter Youth Olympics. First of all, it's so honor for me to have an interview with you. Since now you work for the IOC and also worked as a spokeswoman and director of international media relations for the PyeongChang organizing committee for 2018. I want to ask you what was the most difficult or proud point since you work for IOC?
Well, thanks. First of all, it's great to meet you, and I'm really proud of all the work that you're doing for Gangwon 24. It's quite exciting to see how much work that you've done for the games.
Thanks.
In terms of all of the difficult moments and the challenges, actually, I have to go back to my time in PyeongChang because one of my most memorable but most challenging experiences was working with the Republic of Korea and also the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So this experience of working with one of the most important Olympic values of peace and as the legacy of the Olympic Winter Games PyeongChang 2018, I would say that experience was extremely memorable. And taking that legacy forward to Gangwon 2024 is also amazing. And that's also been taken with me towards my experience and my journey with the International Olympic Committee. So all of the legacies of PyeongChang 2018 continue with my work at the International Olympic Committee even now. And I would say that I'm really proud of that legacy. I'm really proud that the youth of Korea are able to receive that message, the message of the Olympic values, not only just excellence, friendship, and respect, but taking that legacy from PyeongChang and being able to know that the journey will continue with Gangwon 2024. And me being at the International Olympic Committee, at the IOC, I think it's great to see that the youth of Korea will be able to take that legacy forward with Gangwon 2024. So your work at the ground level, working with the youth and this great audience of youth, I think that's a great opportunity for you to convey those messages forward. And I think that all of these experiences are great for the new generation as well.
Thank you for your response. You just mentioned that one of the most uh, valuable virtue in all of the Olympics is the peace. And I want to ask you, what is the most significant value in your life?
Well, there's actually many values that I have in my life, but I think that one of the most important things, important for everyone, is really to have a lot of passion. And I think with whatever you do in life, as long as you do it with a lot of passion and a lot of thinking of the important values that you have in your life, I think that's what carries you throughout your journey. So whatever you do, whatever work that you have, whoever you meet, you can take that value of passion and really apply it to all areas of your life. And for me, that's been very important throughout my career since I started working for the Olympic movement. To really understand those important values and take them with me. It's been really important, and I'd like to really emphasize those kind of values that the young people should take and also carry with them throughout their journey as they move forward.
Yeah, thanks. I believe PyeongChang was remembered as one of the most successful and memorable Olympic among all the Olympic we have, and I believe the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic will follow that legacy of 2020, 2018 PyeongChang Olympics. And how do you want the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics to be remembered by people worldwide?
Well, taking the experience from PyeongChang, I think one of the most important things that we considered when we were doing the games was how can we get our messages of peace, not only the Olympic values, but the important part of peace and how peace is being promoted through sport, how we can convey those messages. And I think part of the success of the PyeongChang Winter Olympic Games was that we were able to really convey those messages throughout the journey of everyone, not just the athletes, but also everyone involved with the Olympic movement was able to take those messages and somehow carry some of that back to them wherever they lived in the world. And because of that very powerful legacy from PyeongChang, I think there's a really solid groundwork that is in place for youth like you. And I think the powerful vision that Gangwon 2024 has, that is an incredible opportunity because the vision of having the celebration of peaceful coexistence and unity through sport to create a better world is really a solid foundation for youth like you to be able to take those messages and be able to convey them to youth throughout the world, through the various methods that you have to connect with your own younger audience through the very many powerful platforms that are now in place. So I would want and I would expect that the younger generation take these Olympic values and really be able to apply them throughout the activities that you do, because it's really all about transformation. And what I really wanted to emphasize is that it's a new audience that you're dealing with. It's a younger generation, and it's actually a generation that I myself don't always connect with so easily. But now that you understand what the Olympic movement is all about, and you understand what it is the vision of Gangwon 2024 is, I think you are in a perfect position to be able to connect to the new audience, the new generation, and be able to relay those messages. Because as you know, the Olympic Games, it's the only sporting event in the world that brings together the world in peaceful competition. And when you think that all of these people are coming together and experiencing unity and solidarity, you understand that this is a great opportunity for youth like yourself to be able to connect with others through the Olympic values. And it's a unique opportunity that the Republic of Korea has at this time. And since it's the next event on the Olympic calendar, it is really an exciting opportunity to be able to take that journey of everyone involved in Gangwon 2024 and to once again talk about the powerful legacy of PyeongChang and connect that to Gangwon 2024 and really be able to reach a new audience through the platforms that younger people connect with these days and be able to really have a powerful impact on the world.
Thanks. To follow the strong virtues of Olympics and visualize that visions of youth in the Olympics, you just mentioned it is important to convey the message of peace not only to the athletes but all the peoples worldwide. And how would the youth supporters at the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics promote the competition more widely to convey the piece of message you just mentioned?
Well, I would say that the competition itself, of course, the Olympic Games and the Youth Olympic Games, the core of the event itself is sport. But I think there's a lot of experiences that go beyond what sport can do. And so with this entire experience of connecting people through the Olympic Games and the Youth Olympic Games, I think that through programs like the Youth Supporters, I think what you're able to do is talk about that journey and talk about those transformative experiences and really be able to take that to a new level as you try to reach the new audiences. So it's not just about just promoting the sport itself, but it's also about promoting the Olympic values and also promoting the strong messages of peace. So with what has happened with the recent Olympic Winter Games, with PyeongChang in Korea, I think people remember the PyeongChang Games being a peace games. And so what you can do as a youth supporter is take some of those experiences and be able to try to relay those values through the various activities that you do, as long as you remember the vision of what Gangwon 2024 is trying to achieve in the future. I think it's a great opportunity for you to convey the messages, not just about sport itself, but also about all of the very transformative experiences to be able to take that forward so that Gangwon 2024 also has a legacy that it can leave behind, not just be a smaller version of the Olympic Games, but to be able to take those values, to take Gangwon 2024 to a new level and to a new generation and really leave that powerful legacy going forward.
Thank you for all the advice that how the Olympics should take from the strong legacy from previous PyeongChang Olympics in 2018. And do you have any advice for teenagers or athletes who are participating in the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics?
Well, I would have a lot of advice, but if I had to pick one, I would say that it's a very unique opportunity to meet youth from around the world, and it's a very unique opportunity to form friendships and be united with the youth of the world. Because, as I say again, the Olympic Games is a very, very special event. And with what is going to happen in the Republic of Korea, you can say that the youth of the world will come together, and you want them to remember the Gangwon 2024 Games in a way that they take these kind of messages throughout their entire life. And I think that's the real goal of what you're trying to do as a youth supporter. You want people to remember the Gangwon 2024 Games, not only just for the good sport that you kind of experience here. You want people to enjoy that feeling of unity, the feeling of solidarity, knowing that they had somehow experienced the Olympic values, and to take that in their heart and take it with them to wherever they're traveling back to, where is their home. And if you can take that experience, then people can take that journey, take that experience with them as part of their journey as they grow older, to think about all those Olympic values and the powerful impact that it had on their life. And this is part of your role as a youth supporter, to help aid that transformative experience, to build a legacy for Gangwon 2024. But I think it's all based on something that is very important to me, which is, again, the passion. If you're very passionate about this task, if you're very passionate about the work that you do, then you will have an impact. Even if you think it's in your own very small way, there will be an impact. And as long as you think about you and also all of your friends and the people that you work with as a youth supporter, if you always think about the vision of Gangwon 2024 and brainstorm the ways that you can take that experience and try to have others also receive that message, I think that is one of the things that will be lasting and will become a lasting legacy for Gangwon 2024. So it's a huge task, but I think that if you're up for the task and if you're passionate about it, you can really take and have these transformative experiences and take them forward with you on your journey. And I say it's a huge task, but it's actually extremely rewarding task as well because your messages will be received around the world. So I commend all the efforts that you're doing.
Thanks. Yeah, it is the hard task, but as you advise, as a youth supporters, also try to to take the legacy of Olympics with the passion which you mentioned. It is one of your most significant values in your life. And yeah, it was all of my question. So yeah, thank you for all the responses, and it was a great time to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity, and you're a very good interviewer, I would say. Your English is really great. I don't know how you're learning that at school, but very proud of all the work that the youth supporters are doing. Looking forward to all of the new activities and the activations that will be taking place in the future. I will be working with the Gangwon 2024 organizing committee in the future, and I think your role to relay those messages and to really support the transformative experiences for youth in Korea, but also around the world is very important. So thanks for all the work that you do, and I look forward to working with you as you reach that new audience, but also to get across the very important messages that we've had and continue the legacy from PyeongChang 2018 to have a very powerful legacy for Gangwon 2024. So thanks for the opportunity, and if there's an opportunity to speak with you again, I look forward to that opportunity as well.
I also look forward with you. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank Ms. Nacy Park, the Head of Communications for Asia at IOC, for her great responses to the questions posed by our youth supporter. And of course, I would like to thank Seojun, the youth supporter who posed such excellent questions as a great interviewer. They both have the same last name, if I'm not mistaken. They both have the last name of Park. And I would also like to thank the simultaneous interpreters because without them, I probably would not have understood the conversation. In any case, I would like to thank the supporters. Through the work of the supporters and through this video and the promotional videos made by the supporters, I think that more people around the world would get to know more about the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games. Now we might like to move on to the last item on today's agenda. On your way in, you probably would have seen the 5-line poem, a quiz competition that we have going on right now. And we're going to put to a vote, and there are people who would get the highest number of votes, and these 5 people walk away with gifts. The staff are holding up these different boards, and they're trying to hide their faces, probably because we're streaming on YouTube. But in any case, we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to ask Kim Chulmin, Secretary General, is going to come up to the stage because he is going to be the one who will hand out the gifts to 5 winners. Let's take a look here. I think that we see here that the highest number of votes, there's the most number of votes here. This is a 5-line poem. Can we?
아쉽네요.
So I'm sorry, we cannot ask you to recite out loud because of COVID-19 guidelines. But in any case here, Pyeong, do you remember the cheers from PyeongChang Olympics? Chang? It was from the PyeongChang Winter Olympic Games. Or again, we can all come together for Gangwon. Lim. It has a lot of impact and emotion because the youth are our future. Pick fiction. The truth will provide us with much more emotions. We can't wait to hear more from and see more from Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games. Who was the person responsible for composing this poem? It looks like Seojun, one of the youth supporters, has composed this poem. So I'm going to ask Secretary General Kim to hand him the gift. Please give him a big round of applause. Seojun, would you like to please come up to the stage? The youth supporters and the organizing committee have worked together to prepare this contest, and our Secretary General is going to hand you with the gift. Oh, and we're also going to take a photo. Please move to the left. 1, 2, 3. We've been seeing a lot of Seojun on the stage. Well, why don't we give him a big round of applause? Let's go to the next poem. Here, Pyeong, I've waited a long time for 2024, and I've prepared for this moment. I've had a lot of difficulties, but this year I'm also going to be separated from my spouse in the weekend, and I might have to sign the divorce papers. It looks like this may have been written by staff, but in any case, the divorce papers would not stop me. I'm going to do my best so that we can have a successful Winter Youth Olympic Games. Who wrote this poem? Or did this person run away? Or is refusing to attend? Or are you this person? Did you write this? No? Did you write this? Okay, yes. Please come up to the stage. Yes, I know how busy it must be. 2024 is not that far away, and you've prepared for this for the 2018 PyeongChang Olympic Games and now the 2024 Gangwon Winter Olympic Games. I know this is going to be very difficult, so we're going to thank you and take a commemorative photo. Have you signed the divorce papers? Or no? No? Okay. Let's be careful what we say because this is going to be broadcast live. Now we'll move on to this poem here. I see a lot of votes here. Pyeong? Is it Pyongyang? Or the world was very surprised that the Winter Youth Olympic Games is going to be held in PyeongChang. The world is going to focus again on PyeongChang. We have all waited so long for this moment, for peace and harmony, because the Peace Olympic Games allow for peace. And now we will have this Peace Olympics one more time. Gangwon 2024. Who wrote this poem? Yes, thank you very much for this. And the last line in particular is very memorable. Again, I think she is a member of the organizing committee. Starting with the first line, asking, is it Pyongyang or PyeongChang? We were very surprised when we heard that announcement. That's true. Yes, we are now going to hand you with the souvenir and also take a commemorative photo. Yes, I remember that was a really surprising moment, but we've forgotten it now, and now we're moving on to the 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games. I also see a lot of votes here. PyeongChang Olympic Games were held 4 years ago. Yes, and we had the Beijing Olympic Games. Can we see another round of passion and harmony? The Beijing Olympic Games showed me that I should try to look up where the next Olympic Games are going to be held.
좀 억지 아닌가요?
It says the internet said that the next games are going to be held in Gangwon, the Winter Youth Olympic Games.
친구들과 같이 보러 가자.
Let's go watch the games together with my friends.
동계 청소년
Go for the best pick to Gangwon, Gangwon 2024. Who wrote this poem?
서포터 분이라서
It must be a supporter. This means that the supporter is somewhere working outside or somewhere in the venue, so we're going to make sure that the gift is handed to him or her. Thank you very much. And our last winner is
뭔가 좀 심플해 보이긴 한데 뭐가 이제
here. There's a lot of votes here, although the poem looks simple enough. Pyeong. What do you think of when you hear the word PyeongChang? Of course, the Olympics, place of harmony. Oh.
이제 곧 열리는 2024
And now,
동계
the next Olympics will be held in 2024 Gangwon Winter Youth Olympic Games. It's time for us to pick the next winner. Who wrote this poem? Yes, please come forward. It looks like you are a youth supporter.
자, 그래서 약간 우리 서포터 친구 젊은 감각이
I thought that was really
15세 이상 많습니다.
very refreshing because not many people use this kind of expression over the age of 35. So thank you very much for your contribution. We're also going to take a commemorative photo.
자, 기념 촬영도 진행해 주시고요.
Thank you for that.
자, 여러분, 네. 자, 우리 제가 아까 이제 내려갔습니다. 여러분, 우리 수고해 주신 우리 사무총장님께도
We
여러분,
should also give another big round of applause to Secretary General Kim Chulmin.
우리 지금 들고 계신 분들 너무 팔이 아프실 것 같아요.
I think that these people here holding up the boards might have very sore arms right now. I thought that this is very simple. Pyeong, peaceful and harmonious and just Olympics.
임금님도 함께 픽.
The king himself would come together
뉘시오.
for the right pick. Who
이 글을
wrote this
사랑하는
poem?
뉘시오.
Who wrote this poem?
한단 말인가? 안 계신가요?
I don't think this person is present here.
하였는지 오질 않으신
Or maybe this person is too embarrassed to step up.
서포터 분이신 것 같은데, 그렇죠?
It might be a youth supporter. The youth supporter will be outside working as well, engaged in different activities. So if you find this person, please note this person that this person is also eligible for a gift. I have made that decision.
아까 제가 보기에는 노래도 하나 누가 적어주신.
I think there was also a song here.
핑미. 요거 요거 우리 서준
Here. I think, was this written by Seojun? No?
자, 우리 핑미가 있었는데.
Pick me, pick me.
분이신지. 박서준 친구 맞나요? 이거? 네.
Did you write this?
작성했어.
You've really written a lot of poems.
네.
You're very talented.
그러면 요것도 제가 읽어드리고 오늘 부모님이랑 같이 왔으니까요. 이거
So I'm going to read this as well.
엄마가 굉장히 좋아하시죠.
And I also have a present that I've prepared, and I'm going to make sure that this present goes to your mother.
영광을
PyeongChang, let's meet together in PyeongChang. The 2024 Winter Youth Olympic Games would be a way for us to recreate that moment for peace, reconciliation, and coexistence for a better future.
올라오는 감동에 벌써부터 설레고 두근두근.
I'm so excited for what will come.
임박했네요.
The moment is drawn near.
The
The success of PyeongChang will be connected on and led on by
서준이 가자.
Gangwon. Pick me, pick me.
불쌍하고. 자, 우리
Would you like to do the honors of doing pick me, pick me?
직접 어떻게? 픽미야. 네, 자 우리 픽미. 신나는 음악처럼.
It says pick me, and
그것도
we can meet again in PyeongChang and Gangwon.
당첨된 선물은 저희 어머님께 전달을
The presents will be handed to your mother.
오늘도 같이 와주셔서
I know that she has traveled a long way from Daegu
제가 드리도록
to be with us, so this is a present
드리도록 하겠습니다.
for your mother,
오셨고
as you have traveled a long way to be here with your son, taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
전달해드리겠습니다. 다시 한번 박수 보내주시고요.
Please give her another big round of applause.
예쁘시지만 더 예뻐지시라고 저희 미용 비누를 좀 준비를
I have some soap that I have prepared for you.
했기 때문에 촬영해야 될 것 같아요.
So yes, I think that we should also take a commemorative photo here.
네, 감사합니다. 네, 자 우리 마지막으로 하나만 더
So we will go to the last poem because these staff members are really having sore arms holding these up. So we're going to choose one more.
좀 많이 지금 올라와 있는데
There are a lot of poems written here.
14번이요?
14. Did you write this yourself?
느낌이? 자, 근데 너무 심플한데. 네. 자,
It looks very simple, but it says PyeongChang. In PyeongChang, there are fabulous
림
Olympic Games.
사람 픽하면 바로 당신.
If you pick the winner, you will win. Did you write this yourself? No?
어떤 분이시죠?
Who wrote this?
안 계신가요, 지금? 자, 지금 자리에 계시지 않는 거.
Yes, the author is not present here. Maybe this person, if we find out who this person is, we can have the gift handed to this winner.
분들에게 다시 한번
I'd like to thank everyone for watching this poem contest, and I would also like to thank the staff at the organizing committee.
가리고 계십니다.
Yes, they are making sure that their faces are remaining hidden, and they're all dressed in black as well.
뜻깊은 시간 이렇게 또 마지막까지 오행시도 참여해 주신 우리 서포터 분들.
I would like to thank the supporters, all of the participants in this poetry contest, and
우리
the members of the organizing committee for their support. With that, we'd like to conclude sports session 2 at PyeongChang Peace Forum 2022. I'd like to thank Ryu Seung-min, the chairperson of the Legacy Foundation, and Kim Chulmin, Secretary General of the organizing committee.
멀리서 와주신 우리 모든 분들.
I would like to thank everyone who has traveled a long way to be with us today, and all of the participants who are joining us online on YouTube and the online broadcast. Thank you very much for your participation. Beginning at 5 o'clock, there's going to be the UN SDGs 2 session that will be held in this very room, so we ask you to stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you next year. Thank you.